Oh, it's so wonderful to see you again. Come in and unwind. Welcome back to the Celestial Café, a podcast for the magical mind.
So come, take a seat. Would you like something sweet? A star drop potion for the soul? Maybe an enchanted eclair as a treat?
I just baked a batch of warm cookies with a dash of moonlight. I wonder what will happen if you take a little bite.
Here is your bewitching beverage. Let each sip melt your worries away. It's time to open your mind. I wonder what magic awaits us today.
Okay, and hello everybody, and welcome back to the Celestial Café Podcast. Hello to the co-hosts. How are y'all?
Great. Actually, that was way more excited than I actually am. Okay. I am tired and worn out. I've been dog sitting all week, so I haven't been home. This is like the most I've been home since Sunday. And I'm just like, I'm ready to be done and just like, please, I don't like leaving my house. I don't want to be in my space, but I'm here. I'm home.
That's me every night when I'm like, I have to work tomorrow. I don't want to work tomorrow. Oh no. I did work today and then got home, played a little dinkum, played a little Overwatch, had a silly little time. So how are you doing, Dukesley?
Okay. I'm just going through the week, playing lots of Tears of the Kingdom. That's really just where most of my focus has been lately. So I'm just kind of following that. Doing readings sometimes. Nothing crazy. We're chill.
Zelda'd up and ready to go?
Yeah. With that little Link boy swag. Actually, he's pretty androgynous, honestly.
The little Hyrulean swag, yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Panthera, with your Katniss braid?
I'm
True.
okay. I'm not feeling well today, so I might be a little lower energy than usual. So apologies to all the viewers and listeners out there. But overall, it's been a good week. It's been beautiful weather. I've been spending lots of time outside, lots of doggy walks and everything.
Yeah.
So it's been awesome. Just enjoying my my manic moment.
You've had beautiful weather there. I'm so jealous. Like, it's literally been like 55 degrees in Chicago.
Today was chilly. I did have a hoodie on today, but it was sunny. It was pretty windy, but overall it was nice. I will take this over 20 degrees and 2 feet of snow every day.
It's been beautiful here too. I forgot about that. I've been getting a lot of time outside, which has been nice. But today I'm just like I'm low energy too today. But I don't know why. I think it's just the vibes.
I've got the EP tired's,
mellow.
EP sleepies.
Okay, I guess
It's
all
a
of us
mellow
are feeling
moon.
a little... Yeah, mellow. Ooh, a mellow moon moment. Indeed, that's how
We
I'm
do
feeling
have
now.
the kind of
But
a-
it's Sagittarius.
I know.
We do have a mellow vibe, unlike our normally chaotic vibe.
Yeah,
so,
we'll still probably be
a
a little chaotic show, but
once we start rolling, we'll get the snowball going.
welcome to the Celestial Café Podcast. This is a podcast for the magical mind, by the magical mind. And we are recording this episode live on Twitch today. So hello to our lovely Twitch viewers, Makatu and Eric Nugget. We got Moonstone Amon, Lumpy and Aster. How are y'all today? Thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like to catch a live stream version of Celestial Café, it happens twice a month, every other Thursday. And we keep that information on our website at celestialcafe.org, as well as a link to the Twitch stream, which is at my channel at Hey Shady Lady. And we got Kiki Pets. Please do hi, Kiki Pets. Okay. Normally we record or we release these episodes weekly. We've got some announcements today, so just a little bit of housekeeping before we jump into the main topic. Today's topic is a full moon episode, the full moon in Sagittarius. We're going to be talking about Litha? ?
Litha or Midsummer, depending. It goes by both names.
And
Or summer
Panthera,
solstice.
are we talking about a traditional moon?
Yes, we are. This month is the strawberry moon.
Yay!
So
One of my
I got
favorites.
a tarot spread for y'all and a shadow work prompt. So I'm excited.
So that's going to be the topic of today's episode. And we're going to jump into that. We're going to give y'all a little update about Celestial Café because we got some shifts and changes going on. I feel like once we get into the vibe check anyway, the energetic vibe check, I feel like this is just in the air right now. Things are kind of moving around. New ideas are brewing. People are ready to pursue new projects that maybe they've thought about for a long time. And now it feels like it's the time to act upon them. So we're introducing a new section of our Patreon, and we are going to be changing up how we do our full moon episodes. So if you've been following Celestial Café for a while, you've probably been witness to many a full moon episode. We meet up once a month at least to talk about the full moon, as well as variety topics on the off Thursdays. So we've been doing this in at least in live stream format since I want to say December of 2021 or 2022. Yeah. It's been 18 months that we've been doing this.
Yeah.
And we've had this going up on podcasting platforms since June of last year. So we're actually 1 week out of our 1 year podcasting anniversary at Celestial Café. But actually, I think we might be 2 weeks out. Anyway, who cares? Me? Ha. So yeah, we've covered the full moon in Sagittarius, full moon in Scorpio, full moon in this, full moon in that. We've done them all, which means you have heard the deep dive in the traditional moon from us on every traditional moon throughout the year. And we've gone over all the Sabbats. So we have been thinking that it doesn't make a lot of sense to just continue regurgitating this information every year. Obviously, the astrology changes from year to year, but the traditional moon and practices and the Sabbat practices don't change from year to year. So we want to kind of alter how we're doing these full moon episodes. Typically, they run between 90 minutes to 120 minutes, so an hour and a half to 2 hours. We're going to be reducing the time on these to a little less than an hour, maybe close to 30 minutes or so. And we're going to kind of look at this as mostly just an energetic vibe check. Dukesley also has a very exciting announcement. Are you ready to talk about that today?
Yeah, I can talk about it today. I don't have anything to show for it, but I'm willing to start planting the seed in everyone's heads. I greatly value the work that I've put into the astrological portions of these full moon forecasts, and I felt that it would be a waste, and I think everyone here felt it would be a waste for it to just disappear. And what I thought was, and this is something that's been rolling around my head for a long time, is bringing it to my own podcast, which I'm going to be launching this summer, probably in July, August, if I'm feeling really crazy. And it's going to be called The Lazy Phasey Oddcast of Wonder and Whimsy. So I hope everyone enjoys it. I'm going to have more info as we get closer and a place for you to subscribe eventually. But I have lots and lots of things planned for it. Interviews. I'm going to, of course, pull all three of my co-hosts here on at least once onto the podcast to talk about my topics of choice with them, things that I connect with them on. It's going to expand beyond. It's going to definitely be spiritual and witchy, but another big interest of mine is video games, and in media and anime. I'm a big weeaboo, so I want to talk about all that kind of stuff there too, and I have some ideas to kind of marry the two as well, but we'll talk about that as we get closer. So I just want to plant that seed in everyone's head. The Lazy Phasey Oddcast should be coming to your ears this summer. And I will be carrying the full moon astrological deep dives. And in fact, we're going to be doing them on new moons so that we can look forward to the entire lunation. Because I believe that new moons are, of course, the first part of the lunation. And the full moon's actually about halfway through. So I was like, well, why don't I just give the whole shebang once a lunation on my own space? And so yeah, it's going to be cool. So we still get to have our full moon moments here, but they're going to be maybe a little less structured, a little more back and forth. Maybe we'll just like pull some cards and talk about our feelings that's perfect for full moons, really. So
yeah, because we didn't, and I'm so excited. I do think that what Dukesley does with the natal transit chart is super powerful and definitely worth her continuing. But with us reducing the way that we're doing the full moon episodes, it made sense for this just all makes sense. It gels together. It feels nice. So you can come hang out with us on the full moons to kind of get an energetic check-in. So sort of the start of these normal full moon episodes where I'm like, okay, energetic vibe check. That's we're all going to be kind of collectively doing that for about a half an hour each full moon. And that's going to be the new format of the full moon episodes. And then when the new moon rolls around, you can go hang out on Dukesley's podcast and get all of the knowledge that you need
the juicy details. Enter
that new moon cycle. And then once the moon cycle is reaching its peak, you can come feel all of the feelings with all of us as a group. And then it feels like it makes a lot of sense. So
go learn with Dukesley, cry with us.
Yeah, exactly.
And probably cry with me too. We'll probably cry a little bit.
I mean, what's an astrology podcast without a little bit of crying?
Yeah,
like,
without some tears being shed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's either me or anyone listening or my dog or someone's crying, usually.
Cooper's always crying.
Yeah, or sleeping. He's good at both.
Wow, he's just like me for real. So
he really is my dog.
We'll make sure that we have the links and information that you need for Dukesley's new podcast. We'll keep that. We'll definitely add information about that onto the website once it's available. We'll keep that for you posted in the Discord and on the social medias, of course. And you can always just follow Dukesley on her social media. She's at Dukesley on everything to keep up with those updates. Like she said, that's going to be over the summertime. So you got a little bit of heads up. We're going to ease you into the change, and I think you're going to like it. So this way you get 2 times a month check-in on the astrology vibes. And
essentially.
So the other change that we have is regarding our Patreon. And this also kind of aligns with our episode next week, which is a mini episode featuring Fuchsia and Panthera. And I'll let y'all take the reins on this section.
So I'm really excited because we are adding a second tier to our Patreon. It'll be a $10 tier, and that will come with the inclusion of a book club, and we're going to be picking books and reading them together. We're going to be doing spells and rituals that are in the books, and we're really excited. The first book that we chose to go explore together is Psychic Witch by Matt Aron, which is a wonderful, wonderful beginner book if you're new to things, but it's also great for people who are not beginners. It is a wonderful book. I actually only read it very recently, like a few months ago, as a not new witch. So it has a lot of meditation practices, a lot of just like protection and all those good foundations, but it can be like, it's useful reading material for anyone at any stage. So it's a great book, and we're really excited to dive into it with all of you. We're going to be doing rituals from it. We're planning on taking, 2 months to a book?
Yes, so we'll be doing each book in a bi-monthly kind of manner as we go through, but we will be still meeting monthly. And how I think we're going to do it is the first month will be like a check-in, see how everybody's still going, and then also performing an exercise or a spell from the book as a group.
You were going to say performing an exorcism.
I was like, hold up. Y'all didn't tell me about this. I would be there.
And then the next month, we would be discussing the book as a whole kind of at the end. And we'll also be voting on books as we go through as well, too. So you'll have about a month to prepare and purchase the new book or get it from your library or however you like to bring new literature into your home. But we're so excited for this. So definitely check out patreon.com/Celestial Café to join us in the book club tier. They're called the Luna Pops.
Our Luna Pops, yes.
So I didn't think of this when we were coming up with the name, but like my username for everything is Lunar Libraries, Luna Pop Lunar Libraries.
It's perfect. Yeah. So we're going to be restructuring the Discord just slightly, not a huge change, but we're going to be adding in a Patreon section, and we're going to be adjusting what Discord members are called. So the Patreon tiers are Star Drops and Luna Drops now. We have a third tier
Luna
plan.
Pops.
That's what I said. Sorry if it sounded like a bee. My nose is a little stuffy today. Thanks for doxing me, Panthera.
I too am sick.
So do y'all remember what we said we were going to just change the Discord names to? Stargazers. That's right.
Stargazers. Yes, we should have written that down.
I know. So we're going to be adjusting that stuff around in the Discord server a little bit. And we just, of course, want to say thank you before we start to dive into, the portions of this episode that are topical. That was a weird sentence.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. That was like a roller coaster.
I took y'all on a little loopsy-loop with me there. We just wanted to give y'all a heads up on everything that's kind of changing and shuffling around. And of course, a huge thank you to our patrons that are already existing. The Star Drop tier is a general support tier, and you get priority consideration for suggestions on video topics. And we're working on securing some interview spots over the next couple of months. So you might see a couple of new episode styles from us. And I don't know, just we're excited, and we hope you are too. Thank you so much for
the Patreon. Dukesley just posted a spell, so a glamour magic spell for you guys to check out. If you're part of the Patreon already, be sure to log in and check that out. And if you're new, it's very interesting. I love seeing how others do. Yes.
Cool.
How other people do spell work is always so fascinating to me. So I'm excited to try it out for myself.
And I just want to say thank you to those who have been supporting us on Patreon. Because of you, we were able to, recently renew our domain registration. So that's what our money is going towards right now. Is just the basic function of having a web page. And
we're about to renew our domain. So thanks everybody.
so thank you for letting us be able to do that.
Yeah. So I suppose without further ado, we're ready to jump into our last full moon episode coverage. Like we've been doing it since the start of Celestial Cafe. So this would be our last full moon. In this format. So I hope y'all are excited. And we start out normally with a little vibe check from me, which is just kind of like a energetic check-in. And what I mean, even just today, I was dealing with really chaotic energy all around me, and it was stressing me out because I don't feel chaotic myself, but it feels like things are chaotic around. Like there's just a lot coming from a lot of different directions. There's a lot of things changing and moving around, and that's stressing everybody out, which is in turn stressing them, making them stress everyone else out. It all feels incidental, accidental. It doesn't feel like agitation at anything in particular. It just feels like everything is friction. There's a lot of friction right now as things are shuffling and moving. I also think, as I said earlier, it feels like there's a lot of dormant energy that has been existing there for a long time that is starting to poke its head out of the ground. And instead of ignoring this, which it feels like you've done many times in the past, you're actually looking at it eye to eye and being like, you know what? Here's a little water. I do want to see where this seed grows. I am going to follow up on this. I've been ignoring you because of this excuse or that excuse or this excuse or that excuse. And you know what? I'm not out of excuses. I'm just not going to give you any this time. I'm going to you can easily come up with excuses or avoid doing whatever it is. But it feels a little bit more like you want to see things through more so than you have in the past. You want to take things a little more, you want to take yourself more seriously. You want to respect yourself a little bit more in a way that you're actually going to live up to a lot of stuff that you've been wanting to do and wishing you could, and all of these kinds of feelings. There may be some of you that are not able to follow up on this energy right now. And I do think that's going to make you feel a lot of #depression. And all I can say is keep cleaning out the garden, keep pulling those weeds out of the way, and prepare, and let yourself, like, don't punish yourself or be angry at yourself for not being able to follow up on stuff right now. But continue to research and be open-minded and expand on the idea and evolve it in your mind. Continue to just imagine around it. Keep that ace energy really strong with the seeds and just envisioning. If you can't take action, pull some fire energy out right now. We are Sagittarius full moon and Gemini sun. So this is definitely, there might be some ideas, not to curse my personal idea but there might be some ideas that are a little flighty, that you're just like pulling that bow and arrow and shooting it down and the energy might burn out. So keep that in mind when you're plunging after the things that you're plunging after right now. And also don't let the chaos that's surrounding you put you on a path that you're not really supposed to be going on. It can be really easy to get merry-go-round dizzy right now and follow a stray arrow to something that's like, you're like, why the hell am I doing this? Like a month or two from now, because you just get distracted by this, So that's for me this is my native spot, the Gemini sun, Sagittarius moon. There's a lot of times where I just wake up and I'm like, you know what? Today I'm going to study on how to be an astronaut. And then like a week later, I'm like, why was I doing that? I fucking hate space, which is not true. I love space, but just to give an example, right? But I don't want to be an astronaut. That's scary. I don't want to like have my lungs explode or something. I don't know how rockets work.
Space is actually horrifying.
Yeah. So that's what I mean though, is you get that like that random rabbit hole energy is strong, I think, with this sun and moon placement, and it can take you into really interesting spaces. But the Sagittarius burst can be so powerful if you channel it on the right thing. If you plunge yourself forward on, like I said, these seeds that you've been ignoring and they're popping their little heads up and you're like, okay, let's take this. Let's see where it goes. Let's follow this, and put a lot of energy into it and, follow it through the summer and just continue tending these seeds and gardens. So I think that's my vibe check.
So I definitely have been feeling that as well too. And I think that I'm kind of the in between though. I have like a really good day and then I'll have a really bad day, a really good day and then a really bad day. So I'm kind of like bouncing between the two right now. My Gemini rising coming out to play. But one thing that I've been trying to like really instill within myself is that like not everything needs to be a hyperfixation. Like hyperfixations are fun, but they're not always sustainable.
What? I don't understand that.
This is really hard for me. Okay, and I said that as I'm hyperfixated research for like the past 2 days straight. Okay,
I have ADHD and bipolar disorder. I don't know what a normal level interest
That's what I was
is.
saying, yeah.
But like, so the thing with that though is like, as I'm hyperfixating on something new, I'm dropping things that I love, and then I am taking too long of a distance from those things to the point where my perfectionism and my imposter syndrome creeps in and says, you can't do that anymore. You're not good at that anymore. And I don't want to be that way anymore. Like I've done this with art so many times in my life, and it's like, I can be a casual artist. I don't have to be the best at it. I don't have to monetize it. Maybe that's not my path in life anymore. And that's okay. There's other things that I can still do it and enjoy it and do it for the creativity of it and to express myself.
Yeah.
And that has been like a really, really hard lesson
streaming.
For me.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Tried to freaking monetize every single one of my hobbies I've ever done.
Well, because in this culture, it just feels like you have to. Like I was thinking that today, is talking about the boss level iHeartRadio podcast I did, and how it was like I was explaining, I was bringing it up to my brother, and I was like that gig I had with iHeartRadio, and that's what I said, that gig I had, and then all of a sudden this whole like little like wormhole went down in my brain of like gig culture. Everything I pursue is a gig, and how can I get this next gig? And I'm even and that's just what we're encouraged to do. Oh, you like doing graphic design? Well, start putting it up on social media everywhere and take in graphic design commissions, or voice acting gigs, or we're hyper encouraged to pursue that hustle culture. That's a topic for a whole episode though.
Yeah, but it also makes sense though too, because I think that a lot of people are not like naturally like inclined to believe that they're artists. I think everyone is an artist, but they just don't know how to unlock it if they don't feel like they are, or they're not pursuing the right medium. And then all of a sudden they see someone who's like really talented at something that they want to, that they acknowledge requires a lot of hard work and focus and creativity, and then they see themselves working like a 9 to 5, and it's like, oh, like you could really be working doing something you love, but unfortunately what ends up happening is that ends up being translated into just like, now you work, your job is what you love, and it ends up being
so
this
what do you
evil
do
cycle.
for your free time then? It basically takes away your free time when you do that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You don't have a way to relax anymore.
Yeah, like it's interesting to think about.
This is like stabbing me deep right now. Oh,
You know what?
But
You know what I love as a way to relax? Reading.
What?
Join our book
Oh,
club.
It's all come full circle, guys.
But yeah, I can definitely relate to that vibe check too. I'm face to face with a lot, like making direct eye contact with a lot of fear right now. There's a lot of like scary things that are in my immediate circle of influence that's being discussed, and it's like I need to start safeguarding my present so that I can have a healthier, happier future, and starting to really create like these foundational changes that I've been, as you said, making excuses for a long time. And now I'm being asked to really show up and put my money where my mouth is, I guess, and just like start to back up my claims and the things that I want to do for myself and my health and my goals and stuff. It's crazy. So I definitely relate to that. I think that's in the air, at least for me, maybe for both of us, because we're both very similar chart wise. But it's in my air right now too.
It's feeling like, and I feel like I'm progressing for the first time in a long time with a lot of things, which is good. But also it's like, it feels like shadow work right now. Like it's tackling some really big like obstacles that have been there for a while and being honest with myself about them, which that's like the hardest thing is like, sometimes you need some tough love to like realize how deep you've dug, like, and everything in moderation. But when you let yourself get to a certain point with anything, sometimes it's so hard to break away from it and to change. So
wow. So it's I mean, that's exactly what's happening with me, especially because I mean, it was especially clear the other day. I don't pull much tarot for me, for myself. It's only when like I'm like very in the mood. Because I usually carry a card or two with me for a while. And this is the third time in the last 3 readings that my main card has been the devil.
I knew what you were going to say. I was like, it's going to be the devil.
And so like I was talking about the Queen of
This
Pentacles
is when we do that
recently.
exorcism we were talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Exorcise all of our issues.
But yeah, I'm definitely the devil's in my ear right now, telling me sweet nothings about how to conquer my vices or don't and be happy forever. Pug. So those are my choices.
See, it's interesting because like I feel like I guess I have been doing some new things, but like I feel like mostly I've been working on really long-term stuff, but I was just the other day reflecting on how I have been for the last couple of years really facing my fears and like my social fears and like my anxieties and facing them and pushing myself past like through them. And every time I do, I end up being rewarded by the universe for it. And maybe not in the way that I expect to be, but eventually it does come out to be a better thing that I push through my fears. And this is something I've been working on for a while. So it's not like right now this Sagittarius moon, but it's something that I just realized the other day. And that like, I've been really like putting myself out there and things are coming back to me. And I'm like, it's really nice to see. Imagine if you face your fears and put out into the universe, this is what I want and I'm going to work towards it. You can get it.
Sounds fake.
I know, right? Right.
Unfortunately, that doesn't sound real. But actually, this all works out nicely because it's all very similar to what I have written down today about this full moon in Sagittarius. So let's begin there. So we're actually doing this episode a little earlier than usual. So we listeners, especially those who are live with us right now, this is quite soon. This is quite far in the future for us. Okay?
Are you ready to look at the chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we are.
In. All right. So it's going to be on Saturday, June 3rd. That is 2 days after Ty's birthday, by the way.
My birthday. Oh, yeah. Wow. My birthday's like literally like 6 days away.
And I believe you're recording on your birthday, right?
No, it's me and Panthera.
No, I work on my birthday. Look at that.
Oh, no.
I'm probably gonna end up working at the coffee shop too. I bet. Watch. Anyway, continue.
And it's gonna be a pretty late one. So thankfully for us East Coasters, it'll be nice and dark out when it hits its peak of the full moon at 11:42 p.m. It's gonna be around 8:42 p.m. For people on the Pacific Coast. And then it's going to be nice and early for our friends in GMT at 4:42 a.m. Just so you know exactly when the peakiest moment of all that full moon magic culminates, right? But before we start talking about this particular full moon, I like to talk about the energy of the zodiac that it's attached to. In this case, it's Sagittarius. And we have a few Sagittarian representatives here. We got Fuchsia, who has a lot of Sag energy, and Ty,
a lot.
who has
my little Sagittarius moon.
Yes, the very. I feel like it's a defining portion of your chart for sure. Panthera, do you have any Sag?
No, I don't think I do. I just realized I was muted and I had to find them unmute. But I don't think I have any. Actually, I think my
the suspense
only
was killing me.
bit of fire is a little bit of Leo. Maybe?
On the edge of
I'll
my
have
seat.
to double check that, but I don't think I have
Do you want some of mine?
Because my Jupiter is in Sagittarius.
I actually really love Sagittarius energy. It's so fun.
I do too, but I have a little too much of it. so if anyone wants to take I don't know, my, what do I have? Uranus. You can have my Sagittarius Uranus.
Wow,
there you go.
What a great gift! Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fuchsia's giving everyone an arrow in the ass. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I do like my Sagittarius Venus. I like my Sagittarius Venus. I'll keep that.
Sagittarius is the archer, and you're in Uranus.
That was good.
You'll get the joke.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Okay. I'll keep my Venus.
I don't. My only Sag presence.
Hold on a second. Is that what just got said?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Word immediately went Sagittarius.
Okay.
I kind of just wanted that to just sit in its own liminal space.
No, I had to yoink that out of that liminal space.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
All right. Go
My
ahead.
brain is not
Someone's
okay
gotta do
today.
it.
Go
I'm
on,
sorry.
dude.
I'm sick.
My only Sagittarius presence is in my midheaven. That's it, and it's not even a placement. It's just there, but I love it. It's my only fire placement, so this is all I got. That's all I got going for me. So this is a fire sign, a mutable sign, and also it is ruled by Jupiter, which is really nice. So your Jupiter in Sagittarius is right at home. Mutable energy is halfway through a season Okay, so it strengthens the season that it's already in. And usually mutable energy is very stamina based. It has a high endurance rate, able to kind of bounce back really easily, really flexible signs, right? And that's alongside it, like Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces, which I think are all very like bouncy, forward momentum, yet focused, yet like they like to roll out what's already started rolling. They have fun kind of experimenting in that middle phase, right? And when I think about Sagittarius energy, so I have a lot of Gemini, and Sagittarius is directly opposite of me. So I kind of see us as like two sides of the same coin. And I feel that while Geminis want to just kind of stay curious and like learn about themselves and kind of sink deep into that Mercury, that knowledge, cognitive headspace, I feel like Sagittarius, who also is deeply curious and wants to learn, they dive much deeper than I think the average Gemini. The Gemini is totally fine with trivia, with just did you know that blah blah blah? Did you know that blah blah blah? Did you know that blah blah blah? And then someone goes, oh, why does that happen? I don't know. Well, Sagittarius will go much deeper, and that's where that Jupiter, that endless well of wisdom that they're seeking. The Geminis have high intellect. Sagittarians have high wisdom. That's the way that works in D&D. Okay, so that's how that works. And I think that's Sag energy, because of course, while they're very wisdom based, they're based in fire. So I find that they live for the experience. They're very thrill seeking. They're very philosophical, right? They like to pick brains. They like to ask why. They want to understand, so that they can more easily access freedom. They are so obsessed with feeling free. They do not want to be chained down. They do not want to be locked into anything. And at the end of the day, it ends up, I have this in my notes from the last time we talked about Sagittarius, and I still agree with this. It's somewhere between like the wise man and like this degenerate gambler of life, you know, where it's like somewhere the average Sagittarian soul, the average jovial souls, falls somewhere in between those two spaces.
So I just want to pop in here real quick, because Miley Cyrus is an incredible example of a Sagittarius in pop culture. She's got, I think, a song she released when she was a teenager was Can't Be Tamed. And this was when she was in Hannah Montana era. She still had her long brown hair and was like fresh out of the Hannah Montana. And the whole music video is her as a bird in a giant cage, like fighting to break out of the cage. And that was probably 10 to 12 to 15 years ago, somewhere around there. And I think that Midnight Sky is another song she's released recently, but still like the last 3 years, that's got the same energy as the song You Don't Own Me, I'm Not Just One of Your Silly Toys. It's got that don't tell me what to do, don't tell me what to say. It's got that type of energy coming out real strong. That to me, when as a Sagittarius moon, that type of shit speaks to me so hard. And this is why it's hard to put in a box, hard to feel owned. And it's not just specific to relationships. This also feels like you don't want to have bosses or managers or people over you. You don't want you don't want to be micromanaged. You want to go your own way. Wanting to go into High School Musical with Gabriella. You're like, I gotta go my own way. Okay, anyway, continue, Dukes.
No, it's
our
perfect.
brains went two different pop culture moments there, because my brain went, you can go your own way.
Oh God, okay. Meanwhile, I'm over here in Disneyland, like my little Disney pop starlets.
I mean, it's all true though. Like, this is all such Sagittarian energy just flowing forward, right? Just don't like and even like there's just this deep sense of they just want to experience it all, and that's why they don't want to be tamed or blamed, right? They want to be free to fuck up, to make mistakes, to
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. I'm so sorry.
I don't know any of these songs, I fear. So I'm moving forward. That's all I can do. I don't know any of this shit. But truly Sagittarian
I just know Fleetwood
energy.
Mac.
Oh, see, I don't know much from her. I fear. That's something I have to explore. But I feel like with this full moon, it's interesting because I feel like Sagittarius is very aloof and like it's very airy fire, honestly. When I picture it in my mind, it's like the gust of wind.
An arrow.
Yeah,
arrow.
Right.
It's shooting through the. It's been. It's in the sky. It's in the air. It's moving forward. Yeah. And I think aligning with that, this is not a celestial full moon for rest. This is a moon that tells us keep going. This
and
is
I think about
a full moon for restlessness.
Yes, perhaps. Indeed. I think so too. I think that this is a full moon that says whatever you're focused on, whatever you're pursuing right now, keep going, allow it to grow, allow it to foster itself and cradle itself and the magic that you're conjuring right now, right? The energy that you're building up, the ramping up of just movement that is in your field right now. Even if it's barely any movement, this is a great momentum based moon to kind of fly behind it and push it forward and keep propelling it. This is a bold and creative and persistent moon for sure.
Not me literally talking before we started about how like I can't keep them in. I finally got like my shop like was going, and I can't keep the momentum going because I have to order more wax and I can't afford to. I'm like, I can't keep the momentum going.
Well, maybe this moon can help with that because not only does this moon talk about momentum, it also talks about money. This is a very money-oriented moon, honestly, because as I said, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and we have a very important transit happening right now, which is Jupiter in Taurus. It's been talking about a lot by a lot of astrologers. And I think it could be taken quite a few different ways. I think it could be a potential prosperity bump. But it requires work because Jupiter is also, I believe it's square Mars right now. And squares cause this tension. So Jupiter, which is this very abundant planet, with Mars, which is a very physical-based planet, squaring each other. I think that perfectly describes what is happening to you right now, Fuchsia, where it's like, oh
didn't
gosh.
We discussed this a little in the Discord where you're it was like the Taurus and Jupiter and everything, and my Taurus is in my 8th house, and you're like, it's very much money coming in but money going out. I'm like, that's it. That's exactly it. Like I have some money coming in, but it immediately has to go out to pay bills, and when I do get money in, it's gonna go to buy more wax and stuff like that. I'm
currently in that cycle right now too, where I'm constantly at the same wavelength because the money I'm making is just going back into the things that keep me alive. So I'm not really seeing the money grow right now. But I think this is also just like a good test of stamina right now for these moments, right? I looked at the chart. If you look at the chart too, we still have that huge party in Taurus in general going on. Lots of earth energy, lots of fixed energy. I'm getting big 8 of Pentacle vibes, right? Staying focused, staying on building your craft, on what you've already been investing in, showing up every day. And I think that's the big sentence for this moon is keep showing up. That's all you can do. Even if you, just to use Fuchsia as an example, even if you don't have the money to necessarily make wax candles today, like think about other ways that you can kind of fluff up your shop or keep that creative muscle going, and
maybe
stuff
it's
like
finally time to put resin runes into my shop, because I've been talking about that for like 6 months. So maybe it's time. I have lots of resin, so maybe I can make some resin stuff.
Oh my God. Yes. That's exactly how you should be thinking right now, because there is abundance at our fingertips, but this is a moon that encourages us to work for it. And then we also have some other cool aspects going on here. Like Venus is trine Neptune, and I always associate that with just dreaming big. And take moments to consider, like, are you faithful towards the journey that you're currently working towards? And I think faithful is such a very devoted, you know what I mean? Like, rather than, oh, are you excited? No, are you devoted? Are you heart forward in the ideas that are currently rolling around in your head? Or are you just running on this excitements and the sparks? It's just good to consider these types of things, how deeply rooted your channels of energy are, right? We also have Mercury and Taurus conjunct Uranus and Taurus. Wow, that's amazing. In Taurus. And I wrote down in all caps, think before you speak. I feel like everyone's going to be on edge this full moon too. Thankfully we're getting out of this really difficult Mars and Jupiter dance that they've been doing in the sky for like the last year or so. They're finally separating. Their waltz is coming to an end, and finally we're going to get some breathing room, especially for us with barely any fire energy, feeling burnt out over doing absolutely nothing. That time should be coming to an end right now as we actually start to rev our gears and put our energy in a new direction. And it's energy, passion, moving forward, and yet staying in our lane, staying focused. I wrote focus multiple times in all caps while kind of going through this. This is a really great moon to refocus ourselves and rechannel ourselves into what actually we want to invest in. And that's a really good word for this moon too. Investments. We are investing our time, our energy, and our money into what we are currently on the path of embracing, right? This moon doesn't necessarily speak about eureka moments, right? This is stuff that has already been rolling around in your mind for so long, and now it's finally time to slap down the check to put everything in motion. Or for those of us that have been consciously and constantly working towards something, this is a time to check in with ourselves and be like, hey, am I devoted to this? Is this something that's worth my time or energy? Or is it time for me to pivot before I get in too deep? And for those who are in too deep and are feeling these types of feelings, look for ways to explore your focuses right now, that in a way that gets you to connect deeper with them. That's the true energy of Jupiter, is deepening your relationship with yourself, deepening your relationship with your objects and your lifestyles and your habits, and just really trying to get to understand them on a more intimate level. Jupiter allows us to go deep, 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 just like Sagittarius wisdom does. And you use this moon like a treadmill. You're just gonna keep moving forward. You don't have to put up the heat. You don't have to make the whatever. What is it called when you make it go higher? The elevation go up. you just gotta
incline.
The incline, whatever it's called. I don't know. This is not
I'm
my day.
Literally looking at buying treadmills today.
And also throw that out there. People are gonna drive like shit. This is a horrible driving moon. Keep your wits about you. Stay vigilant on the road. I'm serious. There's going to be a lot of road rage, and it's because we're finally that releasing of Mars and Jupiter. In fact, I feel like people have been driving like shit for this past year. I don't know what happened. I don't know if everyone forgot how to drive, but I hope that this transit means the end of really shitty driving, just on like a widespread scale. Holy guacamole. Okay.
Tell us how you really feel, Dukesley.
I don't even drive. I don't even have a license. I'm the passenger princess witnessing all of this nonsense before me on the road. It's nuts. I cannot believe my eyes. It's crazy out there. And I swear it's not just Jersey drivers. It's everyone. But that's really all I got. This is just a moon that's deeply entrenched in this I could say like Eight of Pentacles again, focus and really focusing also on prosperity in general. I just did my first Money Bowl spell recently, and I'm starting to play and have fun with it. And I don't know, this just feels like a good time. This is a good entrepreneurial, whoa, that's a fun way to say that word, moment where we can really sink in our teeth into, it's funny we were talking about this, like sinking and finding joy and creating for creation's sake, and also maybe even getting a bit of that energetic feedback back from in the form of monetary delight. So I don't know. I threw a whole bunch of stuff at you, and in true Sagittarius moon fashion, you gotta figure out and use your wisdom to figure out which one aligns with you the best. But I find it kind of interesting because this is a pretty, I don't want to say serious, it's just a very focused and investment-based and vigilant moon. But meanwhile, it seems that on Panthera's side, this is a lot more of a joyful moon for the folklore.
Oh, yes, for the folklore, absolutely. For a second, I was like, oh, no, I'm bouncing between,
No.
folklore-wise, yes.
I'm going to switch us over to Panthera's scene.
What a great... See, that would have been a good, like, pass the torch moment if my brain was actually working today and not smothered in sickness. So let's talk about the strawberry moon. If you like this all in a more written format, as always, I have all of the moons on my blog, farrellwoodfarm.com. This one is /strawberry-moon. You can go back and re-listen to all of the old ones if you want as well, too. This information stays the same. So
I'm gonna miss her saying that.
I'm sorry. Maybe we can just, we'll figure out something.
Oh, man.
Strawberry moon comes from strawberries, right? This is the time of year when in North America, our wild strawberries are starting to blossom and fruit. My strawberries from last year have completely taken over at least 2 rows in my garden, and I'm kind of just letting it happen because I love strawberries so much. It's great.
That's so cool.
I'm loving it. So the name Strawberry Moon comes from several different North American indigenous peoples. Ojibwe, the Mohican, Algonquin, Oneida. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm not quite sure. My apologies.
I think we say
any of them. Oneida? Okay. So because strawberries are from North America, if you didn't already know that. In other parts of the world, you're going to see some different names. The Moon of Horses for Celtic. We've got the Rose Moon, which was European or colonial American. The Windy Moon. We've got the River Moon. The Moon when June berries are ripe. Lots of different ones that are kind of based on your area and what's around you. So some magical workings that are good for this time have to do with summer, and our harvests are growing, the fruits of our labors are starting. We're entering the time of plenty, basically. We've put in the hard work, you've planted the seeds, you've tended the garden, and now you're finally about to begin reaping all the rewards. So we see a lot of similar themes as we do for Litha or the summer solstice, since we're getting close to that time of year. But this is a great time for protection, cleansing, purifying, for curiosity or seeking knowledge, motivation, tenacity, positivity, hope, solar magic, fire magic, and then working with the Fae, which if you haven't already listened to our Fae magic episode with me and Dukesley, definitely check it out. It was a fun one.
Ooh, I love that one.
It was a blast. So some other correspondences for this moon, colors that are good to work with during this time are red, orange, yellow, and pink. Some great crystals are agate, topaz, and sunstone. So lots of fiery crystals. Some great deities are Isis, Caradwyn, Juno, Persephone, Aphrodite. Herbs, of course, are strawberry, which I watched a video on strawberry leaf tea the other day. So I think I'm going to do that for the full moon. I think that'll be a fun experiment. Rose is great to work with, sunflowers, parsley, skullcap, mugwort, or foxgloves, which foxgloves are poisonous, so just keep that in mind. Don't ingest them. I think skullcap is too, but as always, please research your herbs before doing anything with them. Some great trees are oak and maple, and then this moon is the element of fire, so the sun is heating up our planet, and it's time to enjoy it. So then I have the tarot spread for you guys for this full moon. So our first question is, what is blocking my hope for the future? The second card is, how can I focus on staying positive? And the third card is, how can I continue to serve my best self? Did you guys want to?
Should we
could
pull some
discuss
cards?
or pull cards, whatever.
Can you say what they were again?
What is blocking my hope for the future? How can I focus on staying positive? And how can I continue to serve my best self? And for those who are listening or watching us live or on YouTube, if you guys want to share your pulls while our hosts pull and shuffle their cards, feel free to join us in the Celestial Cafe Discord and post them there. We'd love to see. And
We'd love to see them. Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone have theirs?
I do. I just used a website. Okay.
I'm shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling.
Okay, so it says here, let me just read this again. What is blocking my hope for the future? I got the 10 of Wands.
Ooh, overburdened.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably trying to fill.
I got the 10 of Wands too, but not for the first position.
Okay. I think that the 10 of Wands is definitely a warning that, like, although I may be feeling extra inspired because of this burst of whatever that's happening right now, to not do it all at one time.
Yeah, take it slow. Don't try to grab all the grocery bags in one trip.
Or if I do, then I have to do it with like the utmost like devotion possible. You know what I mean? Like I just have to be so focused, so excited to carry 10 wands, which is a big ask, honestly. So duly noted. How can I focus on staying positive? I got the Ace of Cups, which I actually pulled from my mom the other day as well, as like her card of the now. And I mean, the Ace of Cups, come on. It's just so so kind, such a kind card. It's all about keeping my cup full and nurturing myself and soothing myself. So it's just like keeping my emotions in check as I kind of walk forward and pursue these goals
and staying hydrated while you carry this 10 sticks.
Oh my gosh, true. And how can I continue to serve my best self? I got the Knight of Cups. Yeah, that's cool. So I'll do that. Don't worry about that. I think to me it's just like I always associate the Knight of Cups as like being your own perfect partner and also leaning into the partnership that you already have, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a romance card for me.
Like, yeah, me too.
Letting yourself be like carried away by the idea of love a little bit.
Yeah, like allowing yourself to believe in like this Prince Charming and all that stuff.
Romanticize it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I'm pretty good at, and I do that quite a bit already in my relationship, so that's nice. But definitely we've been utilizing each other a lot more because both of us are like very drastically changing our lives right now. So I definitely can relate to that, and just using and lifting each other up, like utilizing that like as a tool. Yeah. I think that's something important for me to keep in mind because I'm so used to being solo, you know, on all my pursuits. But that's my takeaway from the Strawberry Moon Tarot reading.
So for me, for what is blocking my hope for the future, I actually drew the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, we were talking about Taurus, Jupiter and Taurus and Jupiter and Taurus earlier. That's actually my native placement as well. Yeah, money is not my strong suit. I struggle with it a lot. I struggle just in general. So what is blocking my hope for the future definitely feels like a bitch ain't got no money. You know what I mean? It's just a struggle, and not just like as far as like financial security, but just like kind of physical security. And there's like a constant concern for that. And how am I going to provide for myself? And on a bigger level, this is why I'm so excited for the Barbie movie too. The existential crisis that looms over the themes of that movie is
we're so excited for the Barbie movie.
It's very, very much something that's on my mind because, like this existential crisis. It's just these simple questions of like, I don't know, I got this part-time job back at the coffee shop, and, you know, I've been doing streaming and stuff since 2016 and trying to work at this coffee shop job again after 3 years off from the pandemic, and how difficult it was and hard it was. And I'm not college educated, you know, so I don't have a ton of career perspectives. And it was just this like really sudden kind of like wake up call, shitty feeling of like, what the fuck am I going to do for the rest of my life? Like, what do I, you know, because we're watching Twitter basically fall apart in front of us. Instagram sucks. Like, social media is not the same as it was a couple of years ago. So it's, yeah, I don't know. There's been like quite a bit of dread about job and how will I provide for myself and money financially, and where will I, this whole thing has been kind of swirling. So what is blocking my hope for the future? All of that bullshit, right? That's making me feel a little hopeless, a little, I don't know if hopeless is quite the right word, but it definitely is this feeling of like existentialism and like, what's the fucking point? It's a lot of those like dark feelings of
you're lacking security.
Fuck capitalism kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like it's all of that. And then for the middle, how can I focus on staying positive? It's interesting. I got the 6 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Pentacles is a lot about balancing, giving and receiving. You got the 6 of Pentacles, Fuchsia. Look at us. Look at us.
I got it for something else, but
okay.
I did get it.
Interesting. Yeah, I got the 6 of Pentacles in the middle. And how can I focus on staying positive? I think it's, for me, it feels like kind of reassessing where I'm putting my energy. And in some ways, I think that's why I was like, I need to step back from streaming, because this isn't making me happy as something that provides me money in the ways that I'm pursuing it right now. So I don't want to put energy into it. Not that I don't like streaming and content creation and art and expressing myself and sharing my passion for this or that or whatever it is, but the consumption, the all consuming, like we talked about at the start of the podcast, the need to monetize every aspect of your life and sucking the complete joy out of it. And even now, like I'm even fighting against, as I'm like kind of dipping back into streaming right now, I'm still fighting against like, well, I don't want to stream Tears of the Kingdom because it's oversaturated and I won't get viewer. Like that is already a thought process that I'm actively having to fight against. And I don't know. It's just, where am I sinking my energy? How am I balancing this? And with my last card, and how can I continue to serve my best self? I got the 10 of Wands, and that's a really interesting card in serve myself, because this is an overworked card. This is a character carrying way too much shit, not knowing how to ask for help. And that's kind of what I'm seeing, though, is when I combine this with the 6 of Pentacles, and it feels like I need to, and with the Queen of Pentacles, because she's also got a lot to do with nurturing and like relationships that are nurturing, and all of this Pentacle energy with a little bit of fiery wands, but the fiery wands is overwhelmed. And it feels like I need to learn how to share the burdens in the right ways with other people. And self-care feels like it really needs to come into play here too. Just kind of asking for help when I need it, backing off of stuff, not taking boundaries, not taking on more than I need to, which is definitely something that I'm already seeing kind of peek its head in with this new job, where it's like, you know what? I'm just a little part-timer and none of this shit is my problem. And I'm not stepping up to extra responsibilities because I have to take care of myself, and making sure I don't overstream. Even today, I was thinking about streaming when I got home from my part-time job, ending the stream, getting ready for Celestial Café, going live again. That's not a proper 6 of Pentacles situation. That's not balancing my energy and putting all of my eggs in the right baskets. That's overexerting myself for what purpose, right? And I think that's kind of like the overarching theme for me right now is everything that I've been doing for the last couple of years, take a look back at it, and what is it? How can you restructure it? Because all of the pieces are there, but they're not put in the right places. So the puzzle the picture isn't coming together because I'm putting the pieces in the wrong place. So how can I move these pieces around so that they actually complete the picture? That's kind of where I'm feeling right now with my reading.
Yeah, and I just want to say with like the 10 of Wands, because like although it is a card of overwork, I think that a big part of the picture is that you don't see the guy's face. So you can't see if he's tired or frustrated, or maybe he's feeling good about carrying all 10 of the sticks. And he's excited because he gets to bring it home and use it as firewood and supply it to his family, you know? And it's all about the mindset you take on as you carry the work. And
he looks weighed down to me. He looks slumped over, weighed down. His back hurts.
Yeah,
mood.
For sure.
Okay.
That's how you see it. So that's good intel. You know, like exactly. So it's totally up to you if you feel aligned or not with the work that you're carrying on your shoulders. It's pretty interesting.
My cards are interesting because I got all pentacles. So I think it's really interesting because I see pentacles not just as money, but just like the material world and like that. It's like the solid foundations of a relationship and the earthly ties and everything. And a lot of that ties into just in general, I'm really focused on the earthly right now. I'm trying to make plans to move back home to the east where I have where I'm like my roots are there, like literally like my roots are there. So I'm like, getting all this pentacle is not a surprise to me at all. For context, I'm using the Shadowscapes deck, and I only read uprights with this, but when I read them, I kind of take both upright and reversals into context in my readings. So for what is blocking my hope for the future, I have the 8 of Pentacles, which is interesting, but it's like putting in the work, but maybe getting bored with the work and getting bored with repetitiveness but knowing that I need to do it, but not wanting to, you know, just like knowing that I need to keep doing this and I need to keep at it and eventually it'll pay off. But right now I'm just kind of like, but I don't want to. I just want the end result. So the that's like as the first card, I'm like, okay, fine. Whatever,
it makes me think of that meme of the dog that's got the bone or the frisbee or whatever and is like, throw this, and then the human tries to grab it and he's like, no take, only throw. Like
and then on how can I focus on staying positive, I got the Page of Pentacles. So just continuing to take opportunities where they are presented, looking for new opportunities and looking for new creativity and inspiration and staying focused on all these things that are coming to me, even if I still have to put in the work to get them to actually come to me. Just you know, focusing on those new opportunities, the new starts and the new inspiration and the all these, even like the new money coming in. So like just continuing to keep an eye on that. And then I have, how can I continue to serve my best self? This is where I got the 6 of Pentacles. So continuing to share where I can. Like, I haven't been able to financially share with people, but like I have a Nintendo Online family plan, so I have spots on it. So I gave a spot to someone who couldn't afford their online membership. Bruh. So I'm like just like little things like that, so we could play Animal Crossing together. but just like share where I can, and that doesn't just mean like financially, but just like when I have ideas and I don't feel like maybe I can make the best opportunity of this thing that's presented to me or an idea I have, share it with someone who can. Like I've been really like bouncing ideas back and forth with a friend who's also a content creator. And we've just been like sharing, we're both making content for this new game that the demo just came out, and we've been like sharing ideas on like YouTube titles and tags and how to like get people's like attention on it, because it's by an indie developer and like it's not a big audience, but we're going to grow this audience. So we've just been sharing things back and forth with that. So that's just kind of like how I see that happening right now, since I can't share money with people, but I can share my ideas and I can share share like what opportunities I have. So
yeah, and your energy. It all adds up.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess like that's just kind of how I can continue to serve my best self, is not just focusing on me, but focusing on others and lifting other people up while I lift myself up, I guess.
Okay, so I guess that wraps up our little tarot readings.
Yes. So that's everything on the strawberry moon. If you want to get some extra shadow work prompts or all that info that I mentioned earlier, once again, just check out my blog, farrowwoodfarm.com/strawberry-moon.
And then our next little section is by Fuchsia. So what you got for us today, Fuchsia?
The summer solstice is coming up, or Midsummer, or Litha, depending on what you call it. It has many names, and it all means the same thing. It's the midpoint. It's the celebration of the longest day of the year and the official start of summer. So we're a little ahead of the game here, but the next full moon doesn't happen until well after it. So this will be happening on Wednesday, June 21st. And it's very exciting because there's very little nighttime and lots of daytime. So as you might imagine, it is a celebration of the sun. It's a celebration of the hot weather, the summer, the harvest that's starting to pop up. It's very, very focused on the a lot of wild herbs are usually ready for picking at this point. It's also a period of rest. It's the pause between the spring planting season and the harvest season. So it's not quite, this is the maintenance time. This is the time for the weeding and the watering, but it's not like the go of making sure all your crops are planted, and it's not the go of making sure all your crops are harvested. It's just like the calm part of the year, where we just enjoy the breather. So it's a holiday that's focused on abundance, growth, because the plants are growing, and love. It's known as Gathering Day in Wales because of all the wild herbs that are ready to be harvested. And it's also when a lot of the fruit is coming in. We talked about the strawberry moon, and I know actually my hometown, right around Midsummer, we have a strawberry festival every year. So like always the last week of June, I think, we always have the strawberry festival. So it's when all the berries start coming in, and it's lots of outdoor picnics are a great way to celebrate. And just like enjoy all the fresh fruit and vegetables that are coming in. I think tomatoes should be coming in, right? And zucchini and everything. All those early vegetables. So
anything that thrives under the sun, I guess, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, not me. I'm a winter baby. I don't enjoy.
I like doing sun-kissed chasing butterflies through the flower fields. Yes.
No. Do you see this pale freckled skin with the red hair? I stay out of the sun. It's best for everyone. But some of the ways that people traditionally celebrate it are bonfires. We had our first bonfire holiday right before with Beltane, but this is another bonfire holiday that they're set out to strengthen the sun, and just like keep that energy going back and forth. And those bonfires are often used for protection. For like, there used to be a big bonfire in the like town square kind of, and people would use that to light the hearths in their homes to bring that protection into their homes. the rituals are traditionally held at noon, the height of the sun on the height of the longest day of the year. A lot of picnics. People watch the sun rise. If you feel like getting up that early, which the sun rises very early that day, if you feel like getting up early, or if you are nocturnal like me, before you go to bed, go out, greet the sun, and say hello.
And for my yogis, make sure to do a few sun salutations.
Yes.
It's official sun salutation day on Litha, where I know in my past, when I did a lot of yoga, we would do 100 sun salutations with everyone. And I've known groups that do 365 to celebrate the year gone by.
That's a lot.
After 100, I'm dead.
Yeah,
like, it is so much, but it's so rewarding because you start at sun up and then you usually end around noon. And then everyone gets to celebrate the sun after doing 100 sun salutations.
What do you gotta do when you gotta pee?
You better have an absorbent yoga mat.
You just pee. Okay. Everyone's wearing yoga diapers. Got it. All right. Well, on that note, Fuchsia has more. Sorry.
Yeah. So on the note of yoga and everything, I want to say one of the ways to celebrate is to meditate on the light and dark forces in the world as the calendar does turn towards nights getting longer. So from now until midsummer, the days are getting longer, the nights are getting shorter. And then after the midsummer, the nights will start getting longer again. So it's a good day to meditate on the light and dark in your life and in the world. So it's also a great time for spells, for anything in your life that needs to be fired up or given passion with that energy of the sun.
I love doing spells on Litha. Litha is one of my favorite holidays for spell work. There's a special magic that occurs, especially if it happens to land on a nice, hot, sunny day. It's just so cool. I
don't think we're going to have a hot summer this year in Chicago, considering it was 55 today. I don't think we're going to have a hot summer.
We'll see. It's in the heart of June.
Yeah, so I even though I don't love summer, I love midsummer. I enjoy the holiday and the celebration, so I look forward to it.
And this is not, I mean, it's related, but it's also, I mean, the whole thing is focused around Midsummer, but Fuchsia was talking about doing a movie night for Midsummer in the Celestial Café Discord, which I think is a fun idea. Huge trigger warning with that movie. It's absolutely horrific horror. It's by Ari Aster, who did Hereditary, and it's even more difficult to watch than some of the scenes in Hereditary, in my opinion. So we're going to try to organize that. So make sure you're in the Celestial Café Discord. That will probably be sometime, I would say like early June, closer to the actual Midsummer date. Maybe like mid-June even. Dare we say it? So make sure you're in the Discord, which you can get that link at celestialcafe.org. And we'll definitely make sure to provide like a more in-depth trigger warning when we actually schedule the movie. But it is fantastic if you're a horror fan. So
and it's been a while since we've had a movie night, so it's like, a nice chill community night. So chill watching Midsummer.
Super chill, very chill.
Yeah, really low key.
Very relaxing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's gonna wrap our episode up here today. And thank you everyone so much for tuning in, for hanging out with us. You can get all the links to our podcast at celestialcafe.org. Our YouTube link, there's video podcasts going up on Spotify now. We're available on all podcasting platforms. YouTube, we stream on Twitch, etc. We got the goods, and we're introducing our new Patreon tier very soon. Next week, Fuchsia and Panthera will be recording the mini episode on what's the official title of it? It's like y'all's favorite books, but
it's our 10. It's either our favorite books or our top 10 for beginners.
I think it's 10, beginner witchcraft.
Top 10 for beginners. Okay. Yeah.
So that'll be a nice little book focused episode for y'all next week. And I suppose that's all. Do y'all have anything that you would? I'm back to streaming before y'all jump in. I'm back to streaming ish. I've been streaming on my VTuber quite a bit lately. I'm still going to be doing some human streams, including Celestial Café, but also probably my Silly Sundays, which are like a meme review. My first one since I've been coming back is going to be this Sunday. So 2 days from now, which actually this is going to go up on Monday, so you missed it. Haha. But I'm going to try to do it each Sunday, maybe every other Sunday. I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom. I'm also thinking I'm going to bring some, if I can get my computer to cooperate, Minecraft. I might have to demod some of the stuff on my Stardew save file so it's not so CPU intensive, which makes me very sad. But I want to bring some cozy kind of sandboxy vibes back to my channel, not just nothing but Tears of the Kingdom, because I know a lot of y'all are still trying to avoid spoilers. That's it. Gonna be working on some YouTube videos and gonna be chilling. So do y'all got anything y'all wanna let everyone know about?
I actually have some stuff. So
okay.
I think we all do.
Ooh. So if you guys are interested in Litha and everything coming up, I do have videos on my YouTube channel about Litha as well as blog posts, and I'm fingers crossed hoping to get back onto the YouTube train here soon. I also have some money bowls that will be going up on the Etsy shop here soon, and a lot of my crystals are on sale this month. So check into it.
In
if you've been
honor of
eyeing
Gemini
some
season?
crystals.
Yay.
There might be a discount on a lot of the Etsy shop stuff. So if you've been eyeing them, definitely check it out. So yeah.
Oh my god. Awesome.
I have had like a kind of wonky schedule with finals and everything, but I'm really trying to come back to streaming and make that a more regular thing. So I have been streaming off and on. And after this week, because I'm dog sitting this week, after this week, I will be streaming a lot more. And I'm really excited for it because I took basically 2 years off from streaming consistently. And since I came back a few months ago, like I've really enjoyed it, but I'm like ready to be more serious about it, a little more serious, and be consistent with it. But I have also been working on videos for my YouTube channels. So I have my witchcraft channel and I have a general cozy video game channel. And so on the witchcraft one, I have a look at a brand new tarot deck called the Literary Tarot. That was a Kickstarter that I finally got. And on my gaming channel, I have a giveaway going for a copy of one of my favorite games ever. So check that out. But yeah, I'm really excited to get back to streaming, especially since I changed my setup around again. So now I can stream tarot again. So I'm excited to get back to that.
All I gotta say is that thank you all for listening to the full moon episodes as they started on this podcast. Although this may be the end of an era, you will get to continue to get some of that full moon knowledge with me in my little corner of the internet, the Lazy Phasey Oddcast, coming this summer. And in general, I am just going to be showing up more in a lot of different places. I'm going to be trying on a lot of hats this summer and taking myself very seriously during my Saturn return. And I got to get some shit sorted out. So I hope that you all enjoy the journey with me. And I guess we'll see how everything turns out over these next few months. I got a lot of work ahead of me. Sounds like all of us do. So
we got this.
Just
Eight of Pentacles.
Yeah.
We got this.
Thank you all for enjoying these full moon podcasts, and I hope that you continue to enjoy them in their new form.
I'm excited.
Our next full moon, quote unquote, episode that we're planning is there's also going to be a bit of a change to that format as well. We're going to be doing a season aheads as well. Our next full moon episode is going to be a summer at a glance, and we'll talk more about what the hell that means when it comes up as well. Yep. That's all I gotta say. Thank you all for watching and listening. You guys rock.
All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful end of May. Great start to June. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to Duxley. And I guess I will see y'all well, Panthera and Fuchsia will see you in the next episode of Celestial Cafe. So have a wonderful night, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.